In this video, we are going to go over what is it really like to be a DJ. DJing is really quite misunderstood. A lot of people think it's easy and a lot of people think it's pure upside. So let's go through everything. Like, what's the realities of being a DJ, the good and the bad. So let's start with the bad. DJing is a grind, absolutely a grind, really in every sense of the word. When you're starting out, there is a lot of practice involved and a lot of time involved, both in terms of learning your tracks or finding your tracks and then learning them. There's a lot of research goes in because, let's face it, there is a lot of bad music out there. So you're going to spend a lot of time listening to tracks and just going to the next one because it's just not good. So, you can expect to listen to 100 or 200 tracks and maybe find 2, 3, 5, if you're lucky, that you absolutely love and cannot wait to play in your next gig. Then, once you've got the tracks, you need to learn how to mix them and how to use all of this equipment. I mean, there's just so many knobs and so many controls, so many options that you need to spend time learning each individual one and mastering them so you're fully confident and you can just get on a set of decks and perform to your heart's content. That said, it does come intuitively. It's not as if you have to suddenly understand everything. You will just compound all your skills. The more you learn, the more it just makes sense, to the point where it is second nature. But it's going to take time to get there. And then the other thing to consider is you then need to get known as a DJ. So this means creating content, creating mixes, putting it out there on social media, and there's a variety of ways to do that I'll cover in another video. But you need to be prepared to put in some work away from the decks to get yourself out there and get those bookings, because that's another thing in itself. You need to be able to network and make friends in the industry. So I don't like to call it networking. I prefer the term making friends, because networking can sound too businessy. Whereas if you're just going out and making friends in the industry, then that takes a lot of the stress and pressure off. And plus, that's easy because if you love your genre, if you love techno or drum and bass, as I do, then you already have something in common with the people you are trying to network with. So therefore, it's a lot easier to make friends because you've got common ground already. So all of that said, I mean, that might sound bad, but the grind is fun in itself. As long as you are finding new tracks that you are excited about, then that's going to keep your passion alive. And that's key. If you get bored, then you're just going to give up and it will just be all a waste of time. Whereas if you're constantly finding new tracks, then you're going to be excited and you're going to keep learning and keep improving your skills. And that's the other thing, is as you learn skills and as you learn new tricks, then that's going to make you excited to get out there and get gigs. So now you're out there, you're getting gigs, and this is really where the fun starts. Once you are in front of a crowd and you see how they respond and you see they have a great night, then it just makes it all worth it, really. And it just makes you want to keep doing more and more shows and bigger shows as well. So that is the upside, really, is that you are the party starter. It's your job to bring the party. So how could you not have fun doing that? And so what is it like to be a DJ? It's probably the most fun job in the world. I mean, you literally spend time in clubs, bars, festivals, creating a party. It doesn't really get much better than that. And if it's your thing, it's even acceptable to drink while at work. So there's not many jobs out there, really, where you can be drinking on the job and people salute you for it. So that's some of the upside. More of the upside would be travel. You get to do a lot of travel when you start being a touring DJ. And so you get to see a lot of the world. And this has plus and minus points. You often, when on tour, will be a whistle stop because promoters have to pay for you to be anywhere. So for every city that you're in, someone's got to pay for your hotel, pay for your travel, pay for your food. If they've brought you to that city, they are paying for you. So that means chances are if you're doing one show, you're only going to get one night of accommodation paid for because they can't be paying for extra days. It just would get too expensive for them and it just wouldn't make sense to bring you in. So this means when you are touring, you'll be on the move constantly. So if you're thinking that DJing allows you to go and be a tourist in all of these cities, then at best you might get an afternoon. But a lot of the time you will be traveling between shows. And remember, you've got to get to airports early. So you'll spend a lot of time sitting in airports and waiting for your connections. But, there's also nothing particularly bad about that. It is a great way to see the world and get paid for it. Now, another one that gets talked about a lot, or is a reason that a lot of DJs start, is to attract members of the opposite sex. And is that true? Yes, it is. But there's different levels, obviously. So the bigger you get, then the easier that is going to be. In the early days, I wouldn't be banking on it. There's going to be, again, a lot of hard work. You're going to be playing to some empty rooms sometimes, and don't be making that your main reason to DJ because it's just not like that in the beginning. Just on empty rooms, that's another thing you're going to have to deal with is you are going to play to empty dance floors, or you're going to play to crowds that don't enjoy it, or you're going to make mistakes on the decks. And those are all just things that everyone has to go through. All the superstar DJs that you know and respect have all done this. They've just got through it because it's like a hockey stick, really. You have to kind of get through that plus that hard bit, but then as you gain momentum, you will start playing to bigger dance floors, people who love and appreciate the music that you do, and it will just take on a life of its own. If you're committed, then you will get to where you're going, basically, and it does turn into all upside. But commitment, good way to segue into that. That's what it's going to take. All DJs that you know that have been successful have committed to DJing and just put the time in. They know what they want to do. They've dedicated time and learning. They've networked, and that's given them the skills, the confidence to just keep plugging away until they hit that upslope, basically. So I wanted to give you the full overview. DJing is hard, but it is worth it. Even, as I said at the beginning, the grind is fun. If you enjoy practicing, if you enjoy music, then there's no reason that any of this should feel difficult. It should all just be part of the challenge. And like all of the best jobs in the world, then it takes a bit of work to get there. Okay, this was just a quick overview, really. There is more details on the website. If you wanted to fully read up, as well as some personal stories, go to bestdjsetup.com/like, and that will give you a full article of what is it like to be a DJ. And let me know in the comments if you have anything to add, if I've forgotten anything. What's been your experiences of DJing? So, thanks for watching.